The Los Angeles Lakers need to blow it up. After acquiring both LeBron James and Anthony Davis, the Lakers were able to win the NBA championship during the 2020 NBA bubble. But since then, the Lakers have struggled to put anything meaningful together. And at this point, many are wondering if it's the right decision to trade away their main guys and just completely blow up this roster. But quickly, before we get the video started, for those of you who may not know, I'm Juicy Sports, I make opinionated NBA content, and if you guys enjoy videos similar to this, hit that subscribe button, that like button, and that post notification bell. I also want to quickly mention that I recently started up an MMA channel, and if you guys are interested in that, the link will be in the description. But anyways, let's get into it. When the Lakers originally acquired both Anthony Davis and LeBron James, there was a ton of excitement, and rightfully so. You were getting arguably the best player in the league at that time in LeBron James, while also acquiring a generational type talent in Anthony Davis. And of course, when you have LeBron James on your team, the expectation is always to win a championship. But when you also have Anthony Davis on top of that, you can just imagine how high the expectations were. And early on, the Lakers certainly lived up to the hype, as they were able to win a championship during the 2020 NBA bubble. So if the expectations were for the Lakers to win a championship and they were able to do so, they lived up to expectations, right? Well, yes, but it's not the complete story. Although that championship was certainly huge, what the Lakers did following that was very disappointing. In the 2021 season, the Lakers were only the 7th seed in the West and ended up losing in the first round to the Phoenix Suns. In the 2022 season, which was last year, the Lakers didn't even make the playoffs and weren't even close, being the 11th seed in the West. Now, I know the main reason why the Lakers have been struggling is due to injuries to both LeBron James and Anthony Davis, but that's kind of besides the point. At the end of the day, the Lakers aren't winning. And looking to make excuses for why the Lakers have struggled in the past couple seasons and why they'll be better this next season and going forward isn't nearly as important as being honest with yourself. I feel like we've seen a big enough sample size of this Lakers team put together to realize that it might be time to blow things up. Although the Lakers did have a ton of success early on, the most amount of success you can possibly have, as they won a championship. After that, they've had no success whatsoever. But now the question is, why do I feel this way? Why do I feel it's time for the Lakers to blow things up? Well, in my opinion, there's a bunch of different reasons for why, but the first and main reason is due to health. Now, although I definitely agree with the sentiment that the Lakers have that top-end talent to win a championship in LeBron James and Anthony Davis, I think it's pretty clear of that. But at the end of the day, the Lakers kind of showed us who they are at this point. They're a team that's susceptible to injuries, especially their main two guys in LeBron and more so Anthony Davis. If those guys can't stay healthy, the Lakers are not going to win a championship and they're not going to do anything in the playoffs. It's as simple as that. And history has told us, specifically about Anthony Davis, that he's going to miss some time once it comes down to the playoffs. And LeBron James may do so as well. Although he's been notoriously healthy throughout his NBA career, he is getting older at this point, and he has been a little more injured recently than he has ever been in the past. So there's certainly a concern with LeBron as well. And of course, every team has to deal with injuries, especially once it comes down to the playoffs, but I just feel like it comes up more often than not with the Lakers. And if you're a team that's consistently getting injured once it comes down to the playoffs and throughout the regular season as a whole, like the Lakers' main two guys have been over the past couple seasons, I feel like it might be time to think about blowing it up. Because no matter how good your main two guys are, it doesn't matter if they're not able to stay on the court. If they're not on the court, you're not going to win. So if they're not on the court anyway, it might make a lot more sense to trade them away and bring in some assets in return and try to rebuild. Now, the next reason is general struggles on the court. Even besides injuries, especially last season, there's been a bunch of times where the Lakers have just straight up struggled. It's pretty clear, in my opinion, the trio of LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook just doesn't work straight up. And if they were to keep those three together, especially all in the starting lineup, I think it's going to be very, very difficult to have success in the playoffs. Now, some people have made the argument that maybe last season was just a struggle for the Lakers because they added a major piece in Russell Westbrook to the team, and once they had that full season out of the way, they can come into the season this year and just play a lot better due to better chemistry with more experience. Now, although I think that thinking makes a lot of sense in a lot of scenarios, I think in this one it really doesn't. Because in my opinion, I didn't feel as if the Lakers' struggles last year were due to the poor play of a single guy or maybe even multiple guys, just due to straight up poor play. In my opinion, I feel like that poor play was induced by the fact that these guys just don't fit fit together whatsoever. And this is something that I talked about when the Lakers originally acquired Russell Westbrook, but I felt like it never made sense. Westbrook is a very ball-dominant player, and when he doesn't have the ball in his hands, he certainly does struggle. He doesn't have that ability to hit that catch-and-shoot three-point jump shot, which makes it nearly impossible to be an effective off-ball player. And when you're playing with LeBron, of course he's going to have the ball in his hands most of the time. So it just made for a very awkward fit between him and Westbrook. And yeah, you can bring Westbrook off the bench, which is something the Lakers are testing as of now, but at the end of the day, I just feel like that fit doesn't make all that much sense no matter what you do. Now, another reason why I think it's time to blow things up is because the Lakers are in a terrible situation. And what I mean by this is the Lakers don't have enough cap space in order to make significant moves in free agency. They don't have enough assets to trade away. In terms of draft picks or other players, they don't even have that many draft picks to use for themselves, and basically the team that they're trotting out there now is going to be the team that they have. They don't really have any opportunities to improve their roster, unless they get lucky in the buyout market later on in the season, but besides that, they don't really have any opportunities to improve their roster. And if their roster right now isn't good enough to win an NBA championship or really have that much success in the playoffs, I do feel like it would be time to blow things up. And based on what we've seen after that championship victory, it appears as if the Lakers just don't have enough to win another championship going forward. So those are the reasons why I think it makes a lot of sense for the Lakers to blow everything up and start a rebuild. Now, in my opinion, I don't think this is the most popular opinion, and I also don't think the Lakers are actually going to do this, but I think based upon what we've seen from the Lakers over the past couple seasons, it definitely makes a lot of sense. Now, even though I do think it makes a lot of sense for the Lakers to blow things up, I still think they could be a decent team this next season. I could see the Lakers making the playoffs, and for their sake, they better make the playoffs, and once they do make it there, I could definitely see them making it out of the first round depending on who they play, and maybe even make it out of the second round depending who they play there as well. Now, I don't necessarily think it's all that likely that they make it out of the second round, but I think it is a possibility. But if they were somehow able to make it out of the second round, I think that's where it would stop for me. I don't see them making it any farther than that, which kind of proves my point once again. The Lakers definitely have the opportunity to be a pretty decent team, or really even a pretty good team, but I don't see them as a legitimate championship contender, and many people do agree with me on this. So if you're not a championship contender, why not blow things up and try to rebuild? Especially when you have a guy in LeBron who's only getting older, and a guy in Anthony Davis who still is relatively young and still should be in his prime, but has been injury prone. But there's a possibility that the Lakers come in this season, play very well during the regular season, and end up winning the championship, and I would be completely wrong in that scenario. But I just don't personally think it's all that likely. But I guess we'll see what happens going forward. But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think it's time for the Lakers to blow things up, or do you not agree? But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did enjoy, check one of these two videos popping up now, and until the next time, peace out guys.